You know, sometimes when I listen to Sultana refer to her mom in her conversations with Jason J about her shenanigans with Jason J beneath the sheets, the one question I ask myself is, could it be that Sultana is trying to spite her mom? Could it be? Because on different occasions, she's done stuff with this guy beneath the sheets, giving him a blowjob, the kiss, the embarrassing state of her relationship with him in the house. I mean, of course, it's embarrassing to her that he would openly reject her, on a live eviction show, right? So it's embarrassing to her that, her mom could likely be watching the show at that point in time. So there's that part. And then there's the part where they've been doing stuff beneath the sheets. They've been doing a lot. And most of the time, in fact, every time, not even most of the time, every time the cameras pans to them, she's the one giving this guy a blowjob. She's the one giving him a hand job. She's the one doing everything. A generous giver she is. Right? So it makes me wonder, why do you keep doing these things when you claim that you're worried about the perception it creates of you to your mom? Why? If you really care that much about your mom's opinion, if you really care that much about how your actions will make your mom feel, why do you keep on doing it? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I've thought about it again and again and again, and something is not really adding up. Because if you think about it, a child who is afraid of disappointing their parent, a child who is very cautious of disappointing their parent, such a child would thread carefully on live TV, on a show like Big Brother. Such a child would look for so many other ways to create content, to dish out entertainment to the viewers, than getting herself involved in sexual activities that does not even make her look good. If she was the one at the receiving end, guys, that is a completely different scenario. But in all of the scenarios that we have actually seen of Sultana and Jason J, she's always the one doing the most. She's always the one giving. And this guy has labeled her as his temptation. This guy has insinuated on several occasions that she's the one initiating everything sexual that happens between them. So what does Sultana mean every time she does whatever she wants to do with Jason J, and then in conversations with him, she refers back to her mother that, oh my God, I don't know what my mom would think. I don't know what my mom would think. Something is not adding up. Something is not adding up. I have a weird feeling that partially her doing all of these things is to spite her mom. Yeah. I mean, frankly speaking, having observed things for myself, having looked at the entire situation, I do not think Sultana respects her mom the way she tries to make it look. I don't think she respects her mom that much. I don't think she regards her mom's opinion. I don't think her mom's opinion even matters to her. I don't think she feels anything. I feel like her just referencing her mom at every given point in time she does something with Jason J, I feel like she's just trying to make it look like, no matter what I do, I still fear my parents. No matter what I do, I'm still a child from a responsible home. My parents will still definitely frown at what I do, even if I used to be married, even if I have 2 kids. I think it's all a front. I think she's just trying to do some sort of PR for herself, which is quite lame. It's not really working. It's not at all effective, yes. Because as far as I'm concerned, she does not regard her mom. I don't think she does. I do not think she does. Because even yesterday in the morning, after that whole shenanigan of giving Jason J a blowjob at night, the previous night, and they were having a conversation in the morning, and then she was telling him that, oh, I was asking you last night if you want to come in my mouth. Hey, Egbamio. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with all of you. These are all adult stuff, right? Adults have conversations like this during sexual intercourse, right? Small talks like this do happen. Oh, do you want to kiss me? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? I mean, hey, if you're sexually active or if you've had experience in sexual activities, you will know that her asking Jason J that question, it is nothing new under the sun. Yes, it's something that tends to happen. Such questions, sometimes they are rhetorical questions, right? So they just pop up from time to time just to spice things up, yes. And sometimes it's some sort of stimulant to whoever is giving the pleasure at that point in time. So maybe her asking the question to Jason J, maybe it was, a way for her to get a kick out of whatever she was doing. Yeah, whatever. But her now saying all of those things, doing all of those things, and they're still coming back to talk about, oh, hey, I don't know if my mom saw it, or I don't know if my mom said it. I'm like, girl, cut the crap. I mean, stop with the act. It's very obvious. You do not respect your mom enough. You don't regard her. You don't. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just my opinion. This is my observation. I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think Sultana genuinely is afraid of her mom? Do you think she's genuinely scared of disappointing her mom? Or do you think she's just deliberately doing what she's doing to spite her mom? Or she just doesn't really give a fuck? And for her, it's just, oh, let it not look like I do not have home training. Let it not look like I do not have people at home that are going to be frowning on what I am doing in the house. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments section below. Now, aside from Jason J and Sultana's conversation, ladies and gentlemen, there was something that happened yesterday evening, and this was after, I think, some minutes after the Housemates sponsored task. Yes. So it was a bit of an altercation, not really a heated one, but just a slight altercation between Jason J and Manson. And guys, I looked at that whole situation and, I just shook my head in disappointment, because once again, it was just very glaring that these housemates, as much as they have watched the show over and over and over again, there's one thing that they are yet to learn. That when you gang up on one housemate, the viewers will definitely frown upon it. And if they used to not support that housemate, they will arise for that particular housemate just to spite the persons involved in that gang up. Now, what do I mean? So, Jason J and Manson were playing a game of draft yesterday evening, as I said, after the sponsor task. And it was very obvious, very, very glaring to see that Jason J was cheating on the game. And you see, this is one thing I've also noticed about Jason J. When he's playing all of those, all of those table games, like the snooker games, any of those games in the house, when he's playing games with some of the guys, he finds it very hard to take a step back when he's defeated. There's always an argument. There's always a shouting spree involved. The very day that Rude Boy was evicted, that was on Monday when he was fake evicted, there had been a very heated altercation between himself and Rude Boy. Although they were kind of joking in between, but it was kind of heated, right? So it happens from time to time. And so he had done the same thing again to Manson yesterday. Now, it turns out that before they started playing the game, they had both had an agreement on how the game will be played. They had set about 1 or 2 rules on what will determine a kill shot in the game, and they had agreed. Only for them to start playing the game, and Jason J was, doing the usual tricks and was not willing. And so it turned out that the final strike from Manson was going to turn him into the winner of the game. And so Jason J refused to make a move that will make that happen. And that was what had triggered Manson. So Manson had called the attention of Coy. Okay, I think it was Jason that called Coy, and then they had also tried to involve Culture in the conversation. But then sadly for Manson, Culture and Coy does not have any loyalties to Menson. Instead, they were taking Jason's side. They were not even allowing Menson to explain properly. And even when he had the chance to explain properly that, listen, we actually had an agreement on how this game will be played, Culture especially was being very, very annoying. Like, they were not paying attention to this guy. They were not listening to him. And because, you know, Menson is quite loud, especially when he's getting, you know, triggered, he tends to raise his voice and tends to want to argue his way through that whole situation. And so Jason was leveraging on that because he was being very chilled and calm, knowing fully well what he was doing, right? So he was making it look like because Menson was raising his voice, then Menson was the one that was lying. And so Coy decided not to really give any opinion about the whole matter, you know, completely detached himself and acted like he didn't understand what was going on. And even when Menson had explained to him, he was still acting like he did not understand what was going on. Culture, on the other hand, was just busy laughing with Jason, and we're making just making a jest of the whole situation. And guys, it was really annoying because I looked at that whole scenario and it felt like all three of them, they knew the truth. They knew what was happening, but they were not necessarily ready to pay attention to Menson. And that made Menson look like the villain that was just using loud arguments to try to win, you know, the whole situation. So watching that whole scenario, guys, was just very annoying to see. And that's the reason I said what I said at the start of this video. Okay, not at the start of this video, but at the start of analyzing this particular situation. Because I felt like people cannot continue doing this all the time because they do it all the time. The moment they feel like, okay, majority supports a particular housemate, all of them, they would gather and flock around that particular person, you know, leaving that one who is actually the innocent one hanging. And guys, it's just so frustrating and annoying at the same time. So that was what happened in that situation, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts, so please share in the comments section below. Now, moving on to the next conversation. The conversation shifted to food theft in the house. Turns out that Culture had stolen plantain, yes, that the house was meant to use for, I think, for the general cooking. He had stolen it and he had said he wanted to use it for something else. And although they did not all take it too serious, but then the conversation has shifted to, you know, all of them analyzing the various food thefts that had happened in the house. And that was where Menson had actually revealed that with regards to K-Bobo's stolen bread that happened, I think, in the second week, that he had actually known who had taken the bread, that he knew who took the bread. He knew it was Kai Ikumi that took the bread, but he chose not to say anything. And that was because of K-Bobo's manner of approach towards him. And guys, you see, when he said that, I was kind of surprised, but at the same time, I liked it. I liked that he had done that. I liked that he had stayed mute, because we all saw the way K-Bobo had attacked him on that day, just outrightly accusing him of theft, outrightly accusing him of stealing his bread. And that was really annoying. And despite the fact that K-Bobo had been corrected, despite the fact that it had been revealed that Menson was not the one that took it, K-Bobo still stood his ground. K-Bobo still stood his ground. It wasn't until, I think, much later and then some days later that they had then apologized to Menson and then they had resolved their issues. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, serves him right, in my opinion. And then finally, for this video, ladies and gentlemen, it might seem as though Coy and Isabella are trying to make babies in Big Brother's house, because there is no reason, there is no valid reason why for 3 days in a row now, these two have been literally poking and touching and rubbing and grinding at each other. There is no reasonable reason, guys. There's no reasonable reason why. This is the 3rd day, Sunday night, and no, Sunday early hours of the morning, Monday night, and then yesterday was Tuesday night. Like, don't they get tired? I didn't really try to make babies because at this point I'm lost. Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I end this video. For all I have shared, please go ahead and also share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija. Thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Bye.